Co-chairs are Seth Batesold and George Deladuca. Gentlemen, do you want to welcome folks and get this party started?
Yes, I'd like to. Welcome everyone to the February 18th, 2023 TLI. There are many renowned speakers, and I'm excited to announce that they will be speaking today. I'm excited to have their messages heard and for everyone to improve their speaking skills today.
I'm George Deladuca. I have a bit of trivia that I'll close the meeting with, and it's been a real pleasure to see some very familiar, friendly faces on this screen and all the new members for an exciting, very, very exciting event this morning.
Good morning. This is Brian Nordling coming to you from Shoreview, Minnesota. Bright, sunny morning here, warming up slowly. I have not been to a Toastmasters Leadership Institute meeting for a while, I'm embarrassed to say, so I'm especially happy to be here this morning and listen to, as was noted, some very, very notable speakers today. First, we're going to hear from what everyone refers to as our trio, or as the big three. I don't like to think of them as the big three. I like to think of them as the great three, because I think they're really great speakers and I think they're really great writers. I read their articles every month in the District 106 newsletter. So thank you for being great writers as well. First, we're going to hear from our own club growth director, Katie Hirsch. Katie.
Good morning, everyone. It's so exciting to have you all here together, and I'm delighted with the speakers that we have lined up for you. It's going to be a wonderful morning of learning and being inspired how we can finish our year strong. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Katie. Next up is my friend, fellow club mate, if you will, and our District 106 Program Quality Director, Mr. Ed Elward. Ed, what do you have to say this morning?
Thank you, Brian. Good morning, Toastmasters leaders. We have a golden opportunity today to hear from some fantastic speakers. You'll take away so much information from this, you'll be blown away completely. It's going to be very exciting. A little bit of housekeeping. Each speaker has given us permission to record. We are recording this session. If you don't wish to be recorded yourself, you may mute your video. I've really enjoyed working with George Deladuca, past district governor, and White Bear Lake Toastmasters Seth Batesold. They have been great help in arranging speakers, putting the agenda together, and preparing for this meeting. So thank you guys. I'll say more about that later on. Right now, I welcome all of you. I will continue to drop the agenda in the chat from time to time so later arrivals have access to it. And let's make the most of this golden opportunity. Back to you, Brian.
All right, thank you, Ed. Next up is the head honcho, the big cheese, the leader of the pack, someone I really admire, and he is our current District 106 Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Gopu Shrestha. Take it away, Gopu.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, and all my trio members, club officers, special presenter, and member. Our hard work is really working out. This is one of my dreams when I was a club growth director, to bring one of the biggest person in our TLI. Finally, we are able to make this happen. Along with that, I would like to serve a member with the latest tools and technology. We work very hard. We are hunting down all these key person, and one of my dream person we finally met. Lark is a member of, Lark was a member in Toastmasters since 1990. She is a distinguished Toastmaster, served as an international president in 2018 and 19, as an international Toastmaster International President. In her professional life, Lark has owned a successful manufacturing business, worked as a marketing manager at Texas Instruments, and before her retirement in 2021, worked as a training manager for Maximus. Lark lived in a lighthouse home outside of Austin, Texas, USA, overlooking Lake Travis. The home was built by her late husband, Roger, in honor of her late father-in-law, Arthur. Both men were born in England and both men loved the sea. At Toastmaster event, Lark often wears golden outfit to symbolize the value of membership in Toastmaster. Please help me welcome past international president, distinguished Toastmaster, Lark Doley.
Thank you, Mr. District Director. Golden greetings, District 106, leaders and members, and leaders and members from any other district joining us today. It is truly a golden honor to be with you. I attended your Wednesday club officers training and was wowed by that training. The organization, the content, the trainers, and the facilitators were all golden. I love attending club officer training and I learn from each and every one. I hope during the next 50 minutes that you will take away some golden ideas that will help you in your role as club officers. What is the purpose of today's session? The purpose of today's session is to give you ideas and have you share ideas with me about how we can more effectively convert our prospects, guests at our club meetings, to members, and then how we can retain those members for a lifetime. I'm a lifer, and I would like every member of Toastmasters to be a lifer as well. How do you promote your club? The vice presidents of public relations and their teams are responsible for promoting our clubs around the world. And when a guest enters your meeting, how do you treat them? Who welcomes them? What follow-up is done after that meeting ends? Prospects to members is the focus of our session today. And by the way, this is a session that was created by Toastmasters International, but I will tell you that I've taken some liberties and I have edited it. Hopefully, this will be a valuable presentation for you to keep and for you to perhaps use yourselves. Club membership, growth, and retention. How many members do you have in your club today? This is the first of many questions I will be asking you during our session today, and I will be asking you to answer some of these questions in the chat. And to help me verbalize some of your answers, I have a Zoom chat master today, Johnny Harvey, and he is going to read off a summary of the questions and answers that you give to those questions where I do ask you to respond in the chat. This is the very first question that I want to receive answers from you in the chat. So how many members are in your club today? And if you are a member of multiple clubs, go ahead. Tell me how many members are in each of the clubs and just separate it by a comma. So while you are responding with the number in the chat, I will tell you that I belong to 3 Toastmasters clubs, 2 community clubs, and a corporate club. Both of my community clubs are over 20 in their members. And unfortunately, my corporate club is still struggling with under 20 members. Johnny, tell us, how many members are in their club?
We have over 24, do you believe it? Over 24 members in a couple of the clubs, and plenty of them are double digit. Very exciting.
All right, thank you so much. How many new members have joined your club since the beginning of this Toastmasters year, July the 1st? And how many new members do you want to join your club by June 30th, which is the end of our Toastmasters year? Type into the chat how many new members have joined your clubs and how many new members you want to join by the end of the year. While you're doing that, I will tell you that one of my clubs has 6 new members, another has 4, and the third has 3 new members. So we are progressing with new members, but our goal in all of those clubs is to achieve both DCP point credit for 4 new members. So one club has 6, only needs 2 more. The other club has 4, but needs 4 more. And the last club has 3, so they need 5 more. Johnny, how many new members are in the clubs in District 106?
Well, Lark, I can tell you that the chat is very hot this morning. I've got all kinds of numbers. We have 2, 4s that are brand new. Some of the clubs are coming in with 8 and 10 as their goal for new members.
Good.
Pretty hot chat this morning. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Johnny. How many members do you want to retain? So we often talk about new members, and of course, there are 2 new member goals in the Distinguished Club program, but how many members do you want to retain? So in this, type the percentage into the chat. And as you're doing that, I will tell you, I would like to retain 100% of the members in each one of my clubs, but I already know that we are losing some members for various reasons. So I've set a goal of 85% for each of my clubs. Johnny, what percentages are they typing into the chat?
You've got the magic number, the golden number, 85%. We have 80%, 90%, 100%. We've got some awesome Toastmasters working towards that goal, Lark. Back to you.
I wish all of you and your club success in retaining 100% of your members. I'm going to work actively to do that as a vice president membership of one of my clubs. I just don't think I'll be able to achieve it. What is your membership growth and retention plan? Have you used the club success plan to write down your membership growth and retention plans? Have you created another plan outside of that? It is so important that we have a membership growth and retention plan for every single one of our clubs. And then we need to be sure that that plan is working. And if it's not working, we need to change course. This is the dashboard screenshot for my Today Toastmasters Club. I took a picture of this to show you the membership goals and growth in my Today Toastmasters Club. I am the vice president membership, so I'm very proud we have 6 new members. I believe we'll have a 7th from our meeting this Thursday, and I certainly want us to achieve both of the Distinguished Club program goals of 8 new members. You can see we started the year with 20 members. We currently have 22, but our dues renewal period is coming up. So I want to encourage all of you to connect with every one of your members to ensure that they are engaged in improving themselves and understand the value of Toastmasters so that they will renew their dues in the March timeframe. Today, we will discuss the 4 phases of the prospective member journey. We will brainstorm activities that clubs can perform during this journey to ensure the growth of their clubs and retaining their members. We will identify resources throughout this presentation today that your clubs can use to be successful. What was your journey from not being a Toastmaster to becoming a Toastmaster? Why did you attend that very first meeting? And why did you join? In the chat, in 1 sentence, I want you to share some aspect, perhaps a unique aspect of your Toastmaster journey. You can answer any one of these questions, but remember, keep it to 1 sentence. And as you're typing into the chat, I will share briefly about my Toastmasters journey. I attended my first Toastmasters Club meeting in the 1980s, but they called on me for table topics. I froze and felt that I'd failed at Toastmasters. I did not return to Toastmasters for years until another Toastmaster member from another club invited me to his club and assured me that they would not call on me for table topics. Johnny, share with us some of the unique stories from the members and leaders of District 106.
Thank you, Lark. And who else but Mr. John? My wife talked me into joining her friend's club, but my wife didn't join. No.
Oh, that's
funny. That is very funny. And we had to mention them. We have public speaking, needing confidence, too many ahs and ums, leadership and professional communication skills. This is what you have in the chat. Awesome.
Thank you, Johnny, so much. The first phase of the prospective member journey is the awareness phase. And this is when we acknowledge that we have a need or an opportunity. Perhaps we realize that in order to progress in our career, we need more effective communication and leadership skills. Perhaps a friend invites us to a Toastmasters meeting, or perhaps our manager at work encourages us to go to a Toastmasters meeting. But it begins with that awareness phase, acknowledging our needs, looking into Toastmasters and what it is, researching it to find out where we can attend a Toastmasters meeting. The evaluation phase is the second phase, and this is where we investigate and analyze solutions to our needs, solutions to our challenges. And this is where hopefully we identify Toastmasters through the marketing efforts of our clubs, and then we assess the value of Toastmasters to actually meet our needs and our challenges. The third phase of the prospective member journey is joining. After we have been convinced that Toastmasters is an opportunity for us to fulfill our needs and our wants, then we join a club. This is where our true journey to improve our communication and leadership skills begins. The final and fourth stage of the prospective member journey is the support that we will need as members of this organization. We will need support to help us set our goals and then help us achieve our goals. We'll need that support when we run into obstacles, when we have that fear factor intervene. And then we will need that support to maximize the opportunities, not only at the club level, but at every level of our international organization. The first phase of the prospective member journey is awareness. Let's put ourselves into the shoes of a prospective member, as we all once were. How do you decide how you will spend your spare time? When I think about this, I think about what I value, what I enjoy, what interests me. I value Toastmasters, so I spend as much time as possible in Toastmasters related activities. But when we think about how we found Toastmasters, how did you find Toastmasters? I found Toastmasters through a Toastmaster member who invited me to attend a club meeting. And actually that happened every step of the way, is that I was invited to attend a club meeting by a Toastmaster member. But how did you find Toastmasters? I want you to type into the chat using 1 or 2 words how you found Toastmasters. Johnny, as they type their answers into the chat, read them off. As I said, word of mouth, a Toastmaster member is how I found Toastmasters. But how did the members and leaders of District 106 find Toastmasters?
We have coworkers, managers, mentors, non-officers, club members. We have from work. A motivational speaker once spoke about Toastmasters. Business mentor. I tell you, the chat is on fire this morning. I don't think our officer club training team had so many chat items coming in. This is great.
Thanks, Johnny.
There was a poster, before I get it back to you, Lark, a poster in a lunchroom.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
I wondered if we were going to hear any that were not personal contacts. So personal contacts are definitely the most powerful, but I encourage all of us to promote our clubs in other ways. So when we think about how prospective members today can find Toastmasters, how can they find Toastmasters? I'd like each of you to type into the chat one way other than personal contact that a prospective member can find Toastmasters. So outside of personal contact, how can prospective members find Toastmasters? Again, Johnny, as they type into the chat, let us know. I will mention one, and that is Meetup. We have found Meetup to be a very successful membership recruiter for us. What other responses are coming into the chat, Johnny?
We have online searches. We have finding out about Speechcraft. We have the state fair. People are searching Google and Bing. Meetups is coming up, quite few. Flyers, websites, Facebook, social media. That's what's coming up in the chat. Back to you,
Thank
Lark.
you all. Thank you all. As I said, obviously that personal contact is the most powerful, but we absolutely need to increase the visibility of our clubs in every way that you've said. And I love the state fair. I think that Matt mentioned that on Wednesday. I love the fact that you participate in your state fair and have that visibility there. When a prospective member decides to try Toastmasters, how would they find your club? Specifically, how would they find your club? Type into the chat how a prospective member can find your club. Maybe similar to the responses that you just gave, but type into the chat how a prospective member can find your specific club. I will share with you that we have QR codes on flyers, and we do post flyers in businesses. We also post them where we meet, and we receive contacts from that. I already mentioned Meetup, and I will tell you that Find a Club on the Toastmasters website is another great way for our clubs to find us. Johnny, what are they saying in the chat?
We have websites, meetups, blog, Toastmaster International. We've got more social media coming in, linking from members and folks in the community. Social media is all over as well. Back to you, Lark.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. LinkedIn is another great opportunity for all of us, and Facebook, all of the social media opportunities there. I wanted to show you Find a Club, and I picked a club, or I picked a city in Canada and also in Minnesota. I wanted to show you a couple of elements of the Find a Club. There is the capability for members around the globe to find out whether or not the club has an online presence. And so in Thunder Bay, interestingly enough, the 3 clubs shown here all have an online presence. So I could attend their meeting. And by the way, I plan to attend some of the meetings of clubs in District 106 in the future. Now let's look at this club and notice that it is a restricted club, which means that only if you are, I assume, a member of this company can you attend this club. Then look at this club, and these clubs are in Duluth. This club is an advanced club, so there are restrictions to membership, and it does have an online presence. So I loved the fact that this North Star Evaluators has those 3 elements to it. Are your club location and contact information up to date with Toastmasters International? This is critical for Find a Club to work for you and your club. Did you know that Toastmasters International has identified member personas? Their research team has identified these personas. So look at these: the student, the early career enthusiast, the striving associate, the social professional. I think that one's pretty interesting. The confident leader, the successful leader, and the retiree. By the way, I fit into the last category. When you think about these personas, what are the personas of the members in your club currently? And what are the personas that you would like your prospective members to have? And how can you reach out to those personas? I'll give you an example. This week, I attended a Toastmasters Club meeting at a college, but there was only one college student who was a member of that club. There was a college professor, actually, whose room was being used for the club meeting. And after the club meeting, I talked with the Vice President Public Relations about how to promote the club within the college in order to encourage students to join their club and change some of the personas in their club. How many of you are using the club marketing guide available on the Toastmasters International website? By the way, it is 702 Club Marketing Guide. That's the number of this marketing resource for every club around the world. Look at the different categories of information that are included in this marketing guide. And by the way, when you access this marketing guide online and you look at each one of the categories, you will be able to click on the link for each of the resources in this guide. I want you to see some of these resources, but I want you to think about how you are marketing your club. What are the most successful marketing strategies that your club employs today? So when you think about prospects, guests coming to your club meetings, how did they find out about you? Do you ask them? I hope that you do. We do. We ask every guest how they found out about us. So what are your most successful marketing strategies? We've talked about several ways to promote our clubs, but what are the most successful for you and your clubs? Type into the chat one or two successful marketing strategies your club uses. I think I've already mentioned to you our successful strategies: Meetup, flyers and businesses with QR codes, and Find a Club. Johnny, please share with us the successful strategies for clubs in District 106.
This came up multiple times, Lark. Speech craft. Look at this. Speech craft. Social media continues to be, as we know, coming up. Personal invites, person to person, promoting in a newsletter, website. It's all over, but I do want to highlight again, Speechcraft.
I am so glad that you highlighted that again. And I meant to say something when you mentioned it the first time. We will actually talk about Speechcraft within this presentation, but I am thrilled that clubs in District 106 are using Speechcraft to build membership. It is a golden way to build members. If you have never conducted a Speechcraft within your club, I highly encourage you to investigate Speechcraft on the website and to consider it as a membership building program as a part of your marketing efforts. Now let's look at each section of this club marketing guide. Flyers. So I told you we found flyers to be successful, posted in businesses close to where our clubs meet. But look at the different flyers that Toastmasters makes available to you. You can also create your own, but look at the Toastmasters flyers first. Then brochures. And you can print out these brochures. You can send these digital brochures to your guests to encourage them to join your club. Events, open houses have been a successful way for my clubs to also add members. On the Toastmasters website, there's an open house PowerPoint if you want to use it, an open house flyer, and then look at the Speechcraft. I am so thrilled that District 106 is using Speechcraft, and look at all of the Speechcraft materials that Toastmasters makes available to you so that you can have a successful Speechcraft. For those of you who may not be familiar with Speechcraft, Speechcraft is a 4, 6, or 8-week program that's truly a mini Toastmasters program where Speechcrafters, they conduct meetings just like Toastmasters meetings. They give speeches from a Pathways program and receive credit for it after they join the club, if they join the club. And they play all the roles. They have table topic speeches and evaluations. So Speechcraft is like a mini Toastmasters club for 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Then, if you are a member of a corporate club, I highly encourage you to use the corporate club resources that are included on the Toastmasters website, and in particular are mentioned in this club marketing guide. The corporate club soft skills flyer, just the corporate club flyer, the marketing letter, transforming your talent, developing the leaders from within. These are all opportunities for corporate clubs. Then look at the web tools. The web tools, I hope that every single club officer is reading the leader letter on a monthly basis to keep up to date with the latest developments at World Headquarters and within our organization. Why Toastmasters? I send that link out to every guest so that they can investigate, research why Toastmasters would be of value to them. The Toastmasters magazine, and for those of you who are aware, the Rotary Alliance, it's an opportunity for us to exchange with Rotary clubs our skill set, to attend their meetings and have them attend ours. Then conversion tools, from prospect to guest to member, truly crystallizes what we're discussing today in one brochure. There's a guest follow-up email, new member orientation PowerPoint, new member profile sheet, and a prospective member follow-up email. All of these resources are mentioned in the club marketing guide and available by simply clicking the link within the guide. This is the Marketing to Corporations brochure. I wanted to point this out to all of you who are members of corporations, who work for a living, whether you are a member of a corporate club or you're not a member of a corporate club, your corporation doesn't have a club yet. This brochure is something that you should share with corporate leaders to either form a club within your corporation or to let them know the value of your membership within Toastmasters. It talks about the benefits of forming a club, but then it expressly states what employees learn from their Toastmasters experience. So look at this. How to conduct effective meetings, practicing time management, enhancing their listening skills, sharpening their presentation skills, building team collaboration. These are skills that can positively impact our work performance. And then the list of some of the over 300 corporations around the globe. And in fact, there's 300 Fortune 500 corporations that have in-house Toastmasters clubs. But let's face it, our almost 300,000 members, most of them are still employed. So they represent thousands of corporations around the world. For corporate clubs, if you are a member of a corporate club, how do you maintain visibility with your corporation's executive management? And which managers serve as your corporate champions? If you're not a member of a corporate Toastmasters club, I'd still like you to think about the answers to these questions. And in the chat, I would like for you to share with us, if you're a member of a corporate club, how do you maintain the visibility of the value of Toastmasters with the corporate executives? And what managers serve as corporate champions? And again, if you're not a member of a corporate club, how would you envision doing this? I will tell you that I have visited many corporate clubs during my over 30 years in Toastmasters, and there are so many ways to maintain visibility, but I will tell you one of the simplest ways to maintain visibility and to engage corporate champions is to consider the corporate executives from different business units that you want them to know about Toastmasters and its value. Ask them if you can send them periodic updates on your Toastmasters club and the achievements of the members of your club and the club itself. And then be sure that you have a digital club newsletter and simply put them on the distribution list for that club newsletter. They will receive updates every time you distribute a club newsletter. Just remember, distribute that club newsletter regularly and be sure that you highlight the achievements of the members and the achievements of the club. Also, invite them to an annual celebration of your achievements and have those corporate executives hand out the awards to your members and to your club. Johnny, what are they saying in the chat about how they would maintain visibility with corporations and with those corporate champions?
Thank you, Lark. I'd like to bring up a couple. One is making sure members have professional skills that they can talk about, such as interviewing skills, technical skills, having the support from human resources department, testimonials from other managers as well. And not to forget Mr. Leo, who can design awesome flyers that can be posted in a lunchroom that are better than the corporate marketing department. That's how you get visibility. Back to you, Lark.
Those are golden ideas. Thanks to all of you for sharing those. And then again, on the Toastmasters website, we have the membership building resources. We have the Speechcraft program. And again, I'm so excited that District 106 is using that resource. What is your club's membership building and retention plan for 2022-2023? Will you use the Speechcraft program as a part of that plan? I am hearing in District 106 that you do. Toastmasters research, they identified the personas of members, but they also identified the goals of members. So look at this. Building confidence in public speaking is about 31%. Becoming a more effective speaker, 30%. Improving presentation skills, almost 11%. Preparing for one specific speech, 1%. Improving leadership skills, over 10%. Professional goals, networking, building social connections, developing motivational strategies. So these are the goals of those individuals who join our organization. And are your goals identified in this chart? What are the needs of your prospects and members? What are their goals? We need to know the my why of every single prospect and member. When a prospect visits our clubs, we need to ask them what they want to gain from Toastmasters. Why did they come to a meeting? Why are they attending? Prospective members, they're deciding that they have a need, a problem, an opportunity. They're actively researching how they can address that need. And they want a clear, understandable product to meet that need. How do we learn the needs and challenges? We ask. At the very first meeting that guest attends, ask why they are there, what they want to gain from Toastmasters. And then how do we make them aware? We tell them. The vice president membership should ask them what they want to achieve and then should connect the dots with what they want to achieve and the Pathways program. but it is the responsibility of every member of our clubs to do this. We all need to ask our guests why, and we all need to express how they can achieve their my why through Toastmasters. I have spent a lot of time on the first phase of the prospective member journey. The reason I have done this is because without awareness, we have no prospects, we have no guests. Awareness is the first phase and the most important phase of the prospective member journey. The second phase is the evaluation phase. As a prospective customer, how do you try out products before you buy them? Type into the chat very quickly how you try out products before buying them. Do you test drive a car before you decide to purchase the car? I certainly hope that you do. Do you walk through multiple houses or apartments before you decide about your dwelling? I hope you do. So Johnny, how do the leaders and members of District 106 try out products before they buy them?
Sampling, reviews, free trials, asking everybody else if they've used it. That's how.
Thank you. Absolutely. So with all of the opportunities online to find out about the value of products, we certainly all have that capability and opportunity. So how can prospective Toastmasters members try out our product before joining? I'd like all of you to type into the chat how prospective Toastmasters members can try out our product. And Johnny, as they type this, I'd like you to read them.
Visit our clubs, invitations, visiting the club, open house. Open house came up a couple of times. Being a guest, attending a meeting, come to a meeting. Very cool, very cool.
Thank you, Johnny. Absolutely. We can visit one club, we can visit 2 clubs, we can visit 10 clubs, 100 clubs, and we can visit clubs around the globe. So we can try out Toastmasters clubs globally. We can also visit these clubs multiple times before we decide to join. We had a guest years ago who was so afraid of Toastmasters and speaking in public that she literally sat at the back of the room and asked us not even to introduce her. We told her that when she was ready, we couldn't wait to introduce her, but it took her multiple meetings before she even allowed us to state her name. The evaluation phase. What are the alternatives to Toastmasters? So when someone is Googling public speaking, communication skills, improving their leadership skills, what might they find? What are the alternatives to Toastmasters? Type some alternatives into the chat. And by the way, if you want to do that, except that we don't have time for you to spend time doing that. So just type what the alternatives you think of are in to the chat. And as they do that, Johnny, read them all.
Dale Carnegie, is that right?
Yeah.
Sales
Wow.
training. No, we had no ideas, university courses. Dale came up again, and I'm trying to skip anything that John Barrett will say. Anyway, speech classes, YouTube. Oh, that's a good one for you, Lark. There is no alternative. Back to you.
I love it. I love it. But absolutely, John Maxwell courses, absolutely. So there are communication and leadership courses that are available online or in person that are alternatives to Toastmasters. But what they don't have is the continuous practice and the feedback that all of our members receive. So how can we prove that we can deliver what prospective members need? And what I would say to this, I'm not going to ask you to type into the chat, but again, when they visit our club meetings, they'll see all the elements of a Toastmasters club. They will see those prepared speeches, those effective evaluations, and the opportunity to practice extemporaneous speaking. It is so critical that we have quality meetings so that our prospective members see that quality and are able to connect the dots for themselves about their needs and how Toastmasters will be able to fulfill those needs. Our prospective members will compare products. I don't know what type of car you have. I can tell you I don't have one of these, but I do test drive automobiles before I purchase them. And Toastmaster prospects can definitely tell from our meetings whether or not our organization can support them. After they've become a member, we have so many opportunities for them. The vice president membership will assign them a mentor. The vice president education will ensure that they are participating in club meetings. So after the evaluation phase, we have so many opportunities to prove to them that we can deliver on our promise. What will prospective members like about your club? What concerns could prospective members have? And what is your club's value proposition? Or as I had a program in 2018, 2019, and when I was president, what is your club's wow factor? What I want you to do now is I want you to type into the chat why a prospective member should join your club. What is your value proposition? What is your wow factor? Type this in one sentence or less. Few words is fine. Type your response into the chat. What is your club's value proposition? I will tell you that of the 3 clubs of which I am a member, I believe that one of our value propositions is that we are incredibly welcoming to our guests. And we follow up with our guests and we encourage them to join our club. We also have a pre-member orientation. So before a guest is allowed to join our club, we ask them to attend a pre-member orientation where we talk about the Toastmaster promise, about pathways, about the transferable skills, so that when they join, they will be fully aware of the opportunities within our club and within our organization. All right, so Johnny, what are the value propositions for the clubs in District 106?
I am with you. Other than vodka, it's the same place to learn. Experienced and engaged members, a variety of great people, diverse backgrounds, supportive and welcoming. Back to you, Lark.
I love all of those. I go easy on the vodka though, please. The second phase was the evaluation phase. And now we're into the third phase, which is the joining phase. Why do you buy a product or service? Well, I will tell you, I buy a product or service that meets my needs. I also buy products that meet my wants. And I will give you an example. Yesterday, I received a coupon from Nothing But Bundt Cakes, buy one, get one free. I drove to Nothing But Bundt Cakes, which is about a 20-minute drive from me, just to take advantage of that coupon because I wanted a bundt cake. That's a want. Now, needs are things like filters for your air conditioning unit, your heating unit. Those are needs. I act on both needs and wants. What about you? Why do prospects join Toastmasters? Hopefully so that we can help fulfill their needs and perhaps their wants as well. We provide a fun learning environment. So not only do we help our prospects gain valuable transferable skills to their personal and professional lives, but we do it in a fun environment. That's why prospects join Toastmasters. The joining phase. So during this phase, these prospects receive an offer from them. That's why it's so important that we ask prospects to join us. And if they have seen the value in the Toastmasters meetings they've attended and through the Toastmasters information we have provided them, they will join. Why do prospects join Toastmasters? We've already discussed all of the reasons why prospects join, and over 70% of the reasons are to improve their communication and presentation skills. Why should prospective members join your club? We've just identified your value proposition. What is your membership joining process? When and how do you ask them to join? I hope that all of you talk with your guests about joining the very first time they attend your meeting. If you have any prerequisites, like our pre-member orientation meeting with them, then perhaps they cannot pay for their membership that day, but make it as soon as possible to engage them in the golden benefits they will receive from Toastmasters membership. Our treasurer sends them the membership application with our information already completed and what they need to pay. And then they simply submit that back to our treasurer with their payment. How does your club develop their trust in our product? And I think we do this in so many ways, but what I would say is that prospects will trust us if when they attend a Toastmasters Club meeting, it is a quality meeting. They will trust us when they receive a quality orientation about the benefits of Toastmasters. They will trust us when we assign a mentor to them who will help them set and achieve their goals and work with them to overcome their obstacles. The third phase was joining. The fourth phase is support. We need to continue this phase for the life of that member and their membership in our organization. What have your favorite brands done to support you after you purchase their products? And why did they do that? I will tell you that I continue to receive offers like the Nothing But Bundt Cakes offer yesterday. So my favorite brands continue to offer me products and services. And then when they provide stellar support, such as when I go to my T-Mobile location with a problem and they take care of that problem on the spot, they engage me as a customer for life. The support phase. This is when a new member needs guidance to set and achieve their goals, to overcome any obstacles that they may have with the Toastmasters program and their fear of speaking or leadership. And then we definitely want to be sure that they know that there are other opportunities outside of the club. There are contests, there are conferences, there are leadership opportunities within the club, within the district, regional and international leadership opportunities. Why should we support new members? To keep them, and so that they will achieve their goals in and through Toastmasters. So what support can we give new members? We need to be sure that we assign a mentor to each of our new members, and that that mentor begins working with our new members immediately to help them set and achieve their goals. We need to be sure that the Vice President Education engages them immediately in meeting participation in roles. We need to be sure that they give their icebreaker speech as soon as possible, that they are enrolled in pathways and enrolled in a path. How can we help new members set goals? Again, that mentor is responsible for helping every new member set their goals. When and how can we check in with new members and see how they are progressing with their goals? That is a responsibility of the Vice President membership. You need to check in with the new member and with the mentor and make sure that they are working well together. We should support all of our members. By the way, I believe that every member of a club should have a mentor, that us tenured members should have mentors as well. And how do we know if our members are satisfied? Are they attending meetings regularly? Are they participating in meetings regularly? Are they inviting guests to attend our meetings? We can also survey them a couple of times a year, and we can conduct moments of truth. New member orientation. So if you've never conducted a new member orientation, well, guess what? Toastmasters has all the resources that you need to do that. We have every new member fill out a new member profile, and we give that new member profile to their mentors. Orienting new members. This is the text information about how you can orient new members. As I said, the brochure From Prospect to Guest to Member talks about prospects, guests, selling points, and talks about orientation, mentors, pathways, meeting participation, and encouraging even new members to invite guests. We've learned the 4 phases of the prospective member journey: awareness, evaluation, joining, and support. Club officers, how will you positively impact the prospective member journey of awareness, evaluation, joining, and support? Yes, we may think that the Vice President Public Relations, Vice President Membership, Vice President Education are the most involved in the prospective member journey, but every club officer, every club member is integral to this journey. Deliver gold at every level of the prospective member journey. I want to express my gratitude today to our chat master, my chat master, Johnny Harvey, and thank you, District 106, for the golden opportunity to present today.
Okay, so this is, I don't know if you can see this one.
I can.
Yeah, this is a thank you card from District 106. And another thing, beautifully, I would like to present this scarf to you. And I would like to present what this means. So let me see here if I can have ready. Here we go. Okay. All right. We do things differently, Lark, here. Again, this is a of love to Lark Doley from District 106 members, year 22-23. And the scarf and the card which I am sharing you is this. Thank you, Lark. Your presence and keynote really help our district and members. Thank you again. Gopu Shrestha, Ed Elward, and Katie Hurst.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. District Director, and thank you, District 106.
All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much. It will be mailed to your house. Thank you for coming. Back to Brian.
Excellent. Thank you, Gopu. I think what he's saying is the check's in the mail, Lark. You know, one thing that you said, Lark, that really jumped out at me during the presentation is when you talked about guests, you said you make them, let me find it, you're incredibly welcoming. And I think of our club as being welcoming, but there's probably another gear there. And so I took that one to heart, that we need to maybe step it up just a little bit more to be incredibly welcoming.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Thank you for that.